an unarmed black man, and a grand jury decided that the officer didn't even need to face trial, works according to design. A kid of color selling weed will be sentenced to years in prison, while a wealthy white man receives house arrest for a second DUI, works according to design. Although the phrase may seem alarmingly cold-hearted, it is our way of reminding ourselves that the greatest evil we face is not ignorant individuals, but our oppressive systems. It is a reminder that the deaths of Trayvon Martin and Sandra Bland are not isolated cases. It is a reminder to refuse to let our shock and outrage distract us into thinking that these incidents do not all stem from the same root source, which must be dismantled. That source is white male supremacy. White men lead our ineffective government with almost guaranteed re-election. They lead our corrupt and violent criminal justice system with little risk of facing justice themselves. And they run our increasingly polarized and misinforming media, winning awards for perpetrating the idea that things run best when white men are in charge. This is not a stroke of white male luck. This is how our white male supremacist systems have been designed to work. And when I say white supremacy, I'm not just talking about Klan members and neo-Nazis. Blatant racial terrorists, while deadly and horrifying, have never been the primary threat to people of color in America. It is more insidious than that. I am talking about the ways our schoolrooms, politics, popular culture, boardrooms, and more all prioritize the white race over other races. Ours is a society where white culture is normalized and universalized, while cultures of color are demonized, exotified, or erased. The average black household in the United States has 1/13 of the net financial worth of the average white household. The average Hispanic household has 1/11. 1/3 of black men in America are expected to be imprisoned in the course of their lives. As stark as these numbers seem, we people of color, especially women of color, live with these realities every day. Our entire society is built to ensure that white men hoard power. And it's important to remember that the women and people of color most violently harmed by these systems are those who are also queer, transgender, or disabled. The male supremacy in white male supremacy has been in place in white culture since before white people thought of themselves as white. For centuries, women were not allowed to own property, to attend university, to vote. Whatever degree of freedom women and girls had in their public and private lives was determined by men. Women still spend a large portion of their lives battling men for their basic dignity and safety. They face the persistence of the gender wage gap, the fact that 1 in 5 women is a victim of sexual assault, and the ongoing debate about whether male abusers should keep their jobs and even their status. These injustices are not passed down by God. They are not produced by any entity greater than ourselves. These oppressive systems were built by people, with our votes, our money, our hiring decisions, and they can be unmade by people. So at this beautiful dinner table in a farmhouse in the woods, as we continued talking about these white men and their unchecked anger, fear, and irresponsibility, this phrase kept popping into my head: works according to design. I thought about the white men who talked over me in meetings. I thought about the white male lead in a movie who sits in his cubicle and laments his lot, bemoaning that he was supposed to be so much more. I thought about the white men wearing swastikas in Charlottesville, angry about their own failures and shouting about the people they blamed for them. I thought of every think piece published since the 2016 election trying to explain the new angry white man. He was disillusioned. He was afraid. He was dissatisfied with his job and his elected representatives. He felt forgotten and left behind. Our modern, pluralist world's focus on diversity had harmed white men in some real way, leading to this age of white male anger. At least, that's what the pundits said. And here we were, a group of accomplished women talking about these white men as if they were a problem that had recently fallen upon us from the sky, instead of the predictable product of centuries of culture.